Hey guys, and welcome to the first how-to video, and in this episode we're going to be looking at CWL Clan War League Promotion. So I'm going to be giving you a few ideas and tips to improve your chances of promotion. And as you can see, we have gained promotion in the last 4 of the Clan War Leagues, finishing first, second and first. So these ideas do work, and they are guaranteed to improve your chances. They're not guaranteed to get you promotion, but they will definitely improve your chances if you follow them and apply them to your Clan War Leagues. Our 5th season is currently underway whilst I'm recording this video, so that's why it's not on there, but I will try and post a picture at the end of that league season to show you how we got on there. So I'm going to give you 5 tips and ideas on how to guarantee to improve your promotion chances in Clan War League. So the first one is up hits, dips and opposites, which is very important. Number 2 is always plan for a 2-star. This is the most important thing that you can do. Number 3 is maximise stars, which I'll explain later on in the video. Number 4 is re-hitting bases, which is uncommon, but it can be done. And number 5 is always monitor league results and matches. So again guys, like I said earlier, these are only tips and ideas, so it's completely up to you whether you use them or not, but I thought I'd give you them anyway. Okay, so let's get into the first one. So we've got up hits, dips and opposites. So let's say this is your team with 3 Town Hall 12s, and this is their team with 6 Town Hall 12s. So you're outmatched by 3 Town Hall 12s. So the first thing you're going to have to do, you're going to have to look at how many 12s you've got against them, and that will determine how many up hits you're going to need. And in this scenario, you're going to need 3 up hits. So why do you need 3 up hits? Because as the 12s get gradually lower on the board, the defences get weaker. So your 3 Town Hall 12s stand a better chance of getting a 3-star against those 3 than your 11s do. So something else that you can do is you can have 4 up hits. And this allows your Town Hall 12 to start dipping on the 11s, which makes it easier to get the 3 stars. And all this just accumulates more stars on the board, and at the end of the season you'll notice the difference. So why is up hitting and dipping so important for clans? Well, it's the star ratio. And what star ratio means is basically if everyone was to hit their opposite number on the board, how many stars would you gain from using that system? Or if you were to apply the up hit dip system, how many stars would you accumulate there? So let's have a look at the opposite system. And this is the most likely outcome of what will happen if everybody was to hit their opposite number on the board. And this is going to give you a total of between 11 to 15 stars. So now let's have a look at the up hit and dip system. And as you can see, there's a lot more potential for stars, and this one's going to give you a total of 15 to 17 stars. So the difference in stars is massive. When it comes to the end of the season, you'll notice a huge difference. Okay, so let's have a look at the best time to be hitting your opposite number on the board. There are times to do this. So in this scenario, you can see that there's another mismatch, and there's a mismatch with the Town Hall 10 and the 11. So what do you do in this situation? Well, with the Town Hall 10, you can always look up to the weaker Town Hall 12s to see if you can get a 2-star on the lower Town Hall 12s, and then that frees up the Town Hall 11 to start dipping on that mismatch. So these are scenarios where you can sort of look and try and free up other Town Halls to start dipping on the 10s, or if you're fielding 9s, you can start dipping the 9s. So the best time to be looking at hitting the opposite number on the board is in the Town Hall 10 area. It's probably the easiest Town Hall to get the 3-star. I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's the easiest. So as you can see here, there's a chance of getting 2 stars or 3 stars hitting the opposite number. So if you can do that and the Town Hall 10s can get the 3 stars, then you're onto a winner from the get-go. So try applying these 2 rules to your up hits, dips and hitting the opposites, and I guarantee that you'll start seeing improvement and you'll start seeing more stars on the board, which is going to gain you promotion in the end. So like I said earlier, these tips do work, and they've worked for us. As you can see, we've got the 2 stars on 1, 2 and 3, and they've dropped stars on our 1 and 2. So we've already gained 2 stars on them just by applying these simple rules to our Clan War Leagues. And the difference at the end of the season is massive. And you'll see at the end of this video just how important those extra 1 and 2 stars are to gain you promotion. Okay, so let's jump into number 2. Always plan for a 2-star. I can't stress enough how important this is to plan for the 2-star. So in this Clan War League format, each player only gets one attack, which makes it more difficult because you've got no cover from any other player. So dropping stars is going to lose you more wars overall. So as you saw in the last segment, the other team dropped stars on 1 and 2, whereas we got the 2 stars. So already we've gained stars on them. So you've really got to start thinking big picture when it comes to planning for bases and planning for that 2-star. If it means changing your entry angle, then do it. If it means getting the town hall, then do it, because it is so important. And at the end of the season, if you lose by 1-2 stars and you've dropped those stars by not planning for the town hall, it's going to make a massive difference in your push for promotion. Okay, so here's a common base you'll find in Clan War Leagues, and it's a ring base. And the way I like to beat ring bases is by using a queen walk with a kill squad. Now the idea with the queen walk is to start at 12 o'clock and eventually break her in so that she can get the archer queen and so that she can get the eagle artillery that are in the centre of the base. By getting the eagle, it will keep your kill squad up for a much longer time. The idea for the queen is also to clear that section from 12 o'clock down to 9 o'clock, and the kill squad to clear the section from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Now the reason for this is because you can then send your war wrecker in at 9 o'clock down towards the town hall, and nothing is going to pull away your CC troops from that town hall because you've cut a massive L shape by using the queen walk and the kill squad. So once that kill squad gets down towards 3 and the war wrecker pops, you're going to drop a rage in the middle, and the Valks or bowlers will get that town hall no problem, get down the infernos, and your kill squad should then push from 6 o'clock down towards 3 o'clock. Okay, so let's look at another common base you'll find in Clan War Leagues. And the reason that I chose this base is because these are the bases that you need to be looking out for if you're going to up hit with your 11s or your 10s or whoever you're going to up hit with. The town hall is exposed, and there's so many ways that you can get the easy 1-star. Okay, so one way that you can do it is that you can just queen walk right down from 3 to 6 and get that town hall. You can send a war wrecker in with Valks in and rage freeze it, and then that leaves you a full army composition to find 50% from anywhere on the base. So this is why these bases are really easy for Town Hall 11s to be up in. Now let's look at probably the most common base you'll find in Clan War Leagues, and it's the 4-corner island base. And these bases can be tripled by hogs, miners, e-drags, all sorts. But you would approach it differently in a random war spin. And the reason being is because you would come in from the opposite side of the Town Hall, because there's no pressure. So normally you would look at coming in on the eagle and trying to get to the town hall that way, or you would look at coming in the 9-12 section down towards the queen in that channel. But because we've only got one attack, we can't do that. The biggest risk we run is missing the town hall, and we don't want to miss the town hall. So we have to change our entry point, and the best way to do that with a symmetrical base is to go in on the town hall. So I have a video from Yashan attacking this base, and yes, he only gets the 2-star, but you will see that had he gone in from a different angle, he would have only got the 1-star. So as the video's playing, I'll explain to you what he does and why he does it, and again why it's so important to always plan to get that town hall as well as the 2-star. So let's get into the video. So as you can see, he's going to start his kill squad in from 6 o'clock, and he's using hogs. So it doesn't really matter where the hogs come in from, but what does matter is that he gets the town hall. And to ensure that he gets to town hall, he has to go in at 6 o'clock. So he drops his 2 golems and wizards to start funneling, and eventually he'll drop his war wrecker in down towards the town hall. Now he's got bowlers in his war wrecker, so when they hit that town hall, there's nothing there that's going to stop them from getting it. So they'll break through the walls now, and that siege will pop. The CC pops, the enemy CC is out, so he drops a poison to try and keep those bowlers up. Now this is why he only gets the 2-star, because the dragon gets pulled away from his archer queen and towards that single bowler going towards 3 o'clock. So that dragon ends up staying up through the whole raid, and at the end of it takes all his hogs out. So he managed to get all the defences down, so had that dragon gone down, he would have got the 3-star. But the most important thing is he got the 2-star. Now if he was to come in from say 12 o'clock or 9 o'clock and the dragon had stayed up, then the hogs wouldn't have got back to the town hall to get that 2-star. So he would have only ended up with a 1-star, which would have cost us dearly at the end of the war. So as you can see, all his troops now are gone, and he got the 2-star. But 2-stars do win wars in this format. So the best way to understand this is to go back to your Clan War League results and have a look where you dropped a star and how did it cost you. So if it cost you a position in the table, then you can relook at it. If it cost you promotion, relook at it. But you've seriously got to think bigger picture. 1 stars are not going to cut it, and they're not going to gain you promotion. Stars do make prizes because you get 10 extra stars for the win. But to get the win, you first of all need to get the stars on the board. Okay, and again, the fun side of it is stars equals medals. The more stars you get, the more medals your clan gets at the end of the season. So think about that as well. If you miss 5 town halls, you miss out on 5 lots of medals. Okay, so on to number 3, which is maximising stars. And this side of it is more of a thinking game and planning than actually applying practical tools to your Clan War League push. I'm going to give you some tactics and strategies that are going to help you in this area. So strongest up hitters, strongest 11v11, strongest 10v10, and what you need are team players, not heroes, and communication is key. Follow all these rules and you will never forget them once you keep repeating them. Okay, so we'll start with number 1. Who are your strongest up hitters? Who is the most confident up hitting and who is the most capable of up hitting? Once you find these players, they can be the ones that continuously up hit, so they know that when the war starts, they know their job, they know what they're more likely going to be doing, and so on. And the same applies with the strongest 11v11 players and the strongest 10v10 players. When you find these players, let them know that that's probably going to be their job during that war, so nobody's confused to what the war plan is, and everybody knows what's going on, so they can plan for longer and take much more time in trying to get that 3-star. So number 4 is you need team players, not heroes. And what I mean by this is you need players that are going to follow what leadership have put in place, all the strategies and tactics that leaderships have decided to do. You don't want heroes who are going to try and take the glory for themselves, because it's going to throw a spanner in the works and it's just not going to work out. You need players who are going to communicate with each other. So calling bases. We like to use Discord so people know what bases that people are hitting, because somebody could spend 5-6 hours planning for a base and then player 7 decides that he's going to hit that base with no communication, and then again it throws a spanner in the works. So following 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and once you start repeating them, it will become easier and easier, and eventually players will notice a pattern and know exactly what they need to do. Okay, so let's look at number 4, re-hitting bases. Now this is fairly uncommon, and if you followed steps 1, 2 and 3, then you probably won't have to re-hit bases that many times, but there are occasions where you will need to. So let's take this scenario. So the Town Hall 11 is you, and there is a Town Hall 12 at the top of the board that's unhit, and a Town Hall 10 at the bottom of the board with a 1-star. What do you do? Well, you can look at the Town Hall 12, however, the 3-star is unlikely. So you can then look at the Town Hall 10 with the 1-star, and the 3-star is very likely, but you're only going to gain 2 stars. So you can hit the Town Hall 12 for the 2-star to gain the extra %, but mistakes can happen. You could end up with the 1-star. So there's a better chance of getting the 2 stars on the Town Hall 10 at the bottom if you're dipping it with an 11. Okay, so hitting the Town Hall 12 for a 2-star and getting the extra percentage doesn't really make much sense, because percent wins are quite rare in Clan War League. You're more likely to win on stars than you are on percentage. So it's about looking at the board and reading the board to know where you can get the most amount of stars and how you're going to get those stars on the board. So if it's likely you're going to fail on the 12 up hit, then go for the Town Hall 10 dip to ensure that you get those extra 2 stars. So that's just a little tip for you to read the board. On to the 5th and final tip of the video: always monitor results and matches. And this means that you have to monitor the team that's below you and above you, monitor their star counts and remaining hits, always know how many stars you need to stay in front or catch up, and knowing the maths will drastically improve your chances of promotion. So what I mean by this is, if you're sitting in top position at the end of the season and there's 1 war left, you don't necessarily have to win that war if you've been collecting stars throughout the season. So I will break this down for you, but it's about knowing the math and working it out as you go through the week. Okay, so let's break this down. So your team is in number 1 spot and you're doing really well, and you've got to face number 2 team in the final match. Okay, so this doesn't necessarily mean that you've got to beat this team, but you have to keep an eye on the star count from either team to figure out how many you can lose by in the last war. So let's say, for example, your team is on 307 stars going into the final war of the season, and their team is on 291 stars. So this is a difference of 16 stars, okay? So all this means is that the enemy team, if they win, they're going to get the extra 10 stars, which puts them on 301, and that means that you can lose the match by 5 stars and you have to stay within 6 stars to win promotion. Now I know it sounds complicated, so we'll break it down even more. So here you can see the before, the result and the after of your final match of the season. So you lose the match by 40 stars to 35 stars. Okay, so your final result is 307 stars plus 35, which puts you on 342 stars. The enemy team is 50 stars because they got the extra 10 plus 291, and they finish on 341 stars, which means that you remain in top position and you become champions and get promotion. So it's very important that you keep an eye on what's going on during the week to ensure you know what to do in the last match. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. It's definitely helped my team and Brits On Tour gain promotion in the last 4, and it's looking like we're going to get promotion in the final match, but we've got massively outmatched and they've got 14 Town Hall 12. So who knows, we'll try our best and see if we can gain promotion. But like I said, these are just tips and ideas, and it's completely up to you whether you want to apply them to your Clan War leagues. And I guarantee that if you do, it will improve your chances of gaining promotion for each season. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and thank you for watching. Take care.